What's up and welcome to KplusGaming Corner, and in this video I'm sharing my overall experience with Remnant from the Ashes and seeing if this is a game you might want to give a try out in 2023 as we wait for new releases like Diablo 4, the Elden Ring DLC, and of course the sequel to the game I'm discussing right here, Remnant 2, due out this summer. Now, Remnant from the Ashes is almost 4 years old, releasing back in August of 2019, and to be honest, I hadn't really heard of the game till it was brought to my attention by you guys. Shout out to Uno M, salute. A few of you were pushing for me to add this to my livestream rotation, being explained to me as Dark Souls with guns, which immediately caught my attention since games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring were some of my favorite games, kind of in a masochistic sort of way if you like dying a lot and getting your ass slapped across the screen by bosses 4 times your size. So after a few weeks of procrastinating, I finally got around to giving it a shot, and right away I was immersed in a world with gameplay that actually reminded me more of Outriders than anything Soulsborne. You guys saw me live as the Gorefist boss fight kicked my ass savagely, over and over again. I died more times than I cared to remember. But I persisted, and eventually got through him with the help of my buddy Sandman, which brings me to the first thing I really enjoyed about the game. Co-op play was really fun, and this game feels like it's at its best when teaming up with 1 or 2 other players, exploring each level, grabbing loot, and you guys know how much I love looking for loot. The only thing that threw me off was the fact that there's friendly fire in this game, meaning your friends can accidentally hit you with their weapon mods, or even worse, teammates can purposefully turn on each other and suddenly turn this into a PvP grudge match, each player out for blood. Otherwise, I enjoyed the way your builds could work synergistically with others, and oftentimes made otherwise nightmare difficulty level bosses way more fun and manageable. Definitely a great way to pass time with your buddies. There were times Sandman would reach out to me for help getting past the boss, and I'd venture into his world and suddenly not recognize anything, and that brings me to the second thing I really enjoyed about this game and found fascinating. And that's in this game, each time you rolled into a world or level, the layout would switch up, different players potentially having totally different experiences with different dungeons, different boss fights, chances at different loot, weapons, and mods. This was a new concept to me as I'd never really experienced that in a game before, and from what I'm hearing about Remnant 2, they're taking that concept to a whole nother level, doubling down on this procedural generation and the fact that no 2 players are going to experience the same game. This upcoming sequel even randomizes the storyline itself, so different events will occur completely randomly and differently in each playthrough, different NPCs, the works. It's hard to wrap my head around this, and I can't wait to see how much further they can push it since Remnant from the Ashes is already pretty revolutionary in this aspect as it takes the replay value here and in the upcoming sequel to a maximum level. The anticipation levels are rising. When it comes to the gameplay itself, it plays like your typical third-person looter-shooter type, like The Division or Outriders, and its reputation for being as difficult as any FromSoft game is definitely well-earned. There are boss fights here that will drive you crazy and test your patience, but it gets better as you level up your trait points and upgrade the weapons you'll be earning as you playing the game. Personally, I always enjoy a game where you start out relatively weak, but improve your stats, find better gear, and by endgame you're as powerful as anyone as you wield your abilities and destroy all foes who come before you. I've had a lot of fun trying out the different weapons and mod combinations, and still even now have a lot to get to in terms of experimenting and working towards my optimal build. This game does take a lot of getting used to. When you start out, your gun recoil is all over the place, it takes forever to reload, and it takes even longer than that to heal yourself, which leads to lots and lots of what seem like unfair or unnecessary deaths. These all can be improved though based on what trait points you decide to spec into, which gives you incentive to keep grinding and getting better. So if the question is, would I recommend playing this game in 2023, my answer would be a strong hell yeah. Especially with what looks to be an excellent sequel a few months away. If you're looking for a new game to try out, and if you enjoy a good challenging game with great combat mechanics, high replayability, great co-op play, and lots of loot and weapons to farm, then look no further than Remnant from the Ashes. There's also a very nice DLC available with more story and lore, more boss fights, and a survival mode where you're dropped off in the middle of nowhere with just your underwear and a backpack and have to fight your way through and find some pants and shoes to put on while earning more loot, gear, and rewards. The only thing I can do without in this game is McCade. She can kick rocks, and I hope she breaks a toe doing it. For real, get her the hell up out of here. Let me know in the comments if this is a game you might consider, or if you've already been through it multiple times, or if you got stuck on the first boss fight and said forget this. Do share your experiences, as I know I'll be re-rolling my world and going through another playthrough or two that should keep me busy until the sequel is released, hopefully sooner rather than later. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, would be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to see more content from yours truly, please consider subscribing. It's free and keeps you up to date whenever a new video drops or whenever I'm going live. I appreciate you checking this out, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Until then, peace.